Each summer, students from across the country travel to attend the Academy of Scholastic Broadcasting's week-long camp.
From Lee Summit West High School, I'm Matt Ross.
And from Washington High School, I'm Lauren Lenzen.
An intense experience, students have created and put together stories to put in a show all in one day.
Kansas City is home to a wide variety of theaters. However, there is one with a special policy that stands out among the rest.
Bailey Bergen has the story.
Power and Light is home to many authentic buildings.
The Alamo is completely different from any other theater out there.
This cinema upholds different views compared to other theaters.
So decided to make a rule of no talking and no texting, and that's kind of where the fame of the Alamo started.
The famous no talking, no texting originated in the first Alamo Theater in Austin, Texas. If you're caught talking or texting in the Alamo, you will be kicked out.
Nobody wants to go to a theater and then have it ruined by somebody else talking. You want to kind of lose yourself in that experience. That's what movies, do best.
Getting lost in the movie is the Alamo's ultimate goal. Having the full movie experience is what they strive for.
It kind of just evolves as technology evolves, but it just comes down to one basic, simple point. It's just respect other people.
The main reason the rule is expressed so highly is for the greatest experience possible.
It's kind of made us who we are and separates us from everybody else.
With photographers Elizabeth Pulse and Caitlin Graham, I'm Bailey Bergen reporting for Camp ASB.
Not all of us are fortunate enough to work in a cool theater all day.
Maddie Martin tells us about some local workers who aren't so lucky.
Escaping the scorching 100-degree weather is not an option for these construction workers.
So we're literally right in the middle of the sunlight, just standing in an open field with just a bunch of heat surrounding us. I mean, you get in shape from it just because you get used to breathing in such thick air, but it's also not good to just stay out in the heat all day. You do get exhausted and dehydrated very easily.
To minimize the negative effects, the workers take many safety precautions.
Basically, we got to take more breaks more often and just try to take it easy, let them get in the trucks and cool off, and if we can, try to get some shade, all the rules they tell you to do every day on the news.
With the sun pounding down and construction on every corner, the end to high temperature is nowhere in sight. At the end of the day, construction workers are anxious to chill out. With photographer Karen Willer, this is Maddie Martin reporting for Camp ASB.
The rich history of Kansas City comes through in our next stories.
Sports fans in Kansas City have it all. Baseball, football, soccer, but basketball fans are not left out.
Kansas City has actually one of the richest histories in college basketball ever. The first NCAA tournament was actually played in Kansas City. Fogg Allen was the one who got together when he was coaching at KU. He's the one who kind of made March Madness what it is.
The deep roots of college basketball in Kansas City has created a need for the college basketball experience.
There's a lot of history in Kansas City, and we think the college basketball experience really epitomizes what it's about and what happened.
From simulating buzzer beater shots to creating game commentary, this attraction has much to offer.
The favorite part about working here is getting to see some of the college basketball legends that actually come in here and some of the players and coaches that come in here and experience the venue. So just last year we had Shaquille O'Neal and Grant Hill here, and they just love this place, so that's probably my favorite part about being here.
Both professionals and aspiring athletes alike consider the college basketball experience a slam dunk. With photographers Jace Elliott and Malia Bogart, this is Mackenzie Wilson reporting for ASB Camp.
From the outside, the Retro Inferno may appear to be an ordinary furniture store, but you can't judge a couch by its cushions.
There are a few designs in here by Eero Saarinen. He designed the arch, so there's a lot of crossover.
There are other famous artists who have contributed to the store.
Charles and Ray Eames would probably be the most significant architects represented in here. Basically, sort of an American 20th century Leonardo da Vinci.
Some of these pieces are currently displayed in one of the most prominent museums in Kansas City, the Nelson Adkins Museum of Art. And this particular piece might soon have a permanent home.
Actually was just designed, I think, in the early 2000s that the Nelson is considering purchasing for their gallery.
And the price? A whopping $15,000. Though the price may not be right for the average consumer, the style still wins out. With photographer Angela Connor, this is Mackenzie Moore reporting for Camp ASB.
From furniture to basketball, Kansas City has it all.
While our last two stories have shown how history has left its mark on Kansas City, our next explains a more personal mark.
Nothing really prepares you for the way human skin reacts under the needle.
Tattoo artist and shop owner of Sink or Swim has always had a passion for his job.
I had an interest in getting one. I had always been somewhat of an artist, and after I received my first one, I just absolutely fell in love with the process. I thought it was cool.
Parents are often supportive of the children's endeavors, but this was not the case for Hendrix, especially for his father.
I mean, it's kind of hard when your kid tells you, hey, I'm going to be covered in tattoos. They hated it. I feel like now that I've had my own business, and I'm married and I have 3 kids, and I support them through tattooing. I think that they've kind of come around to it now.
His hardships weren't permanent. In fact, the first tattoo he ever did
It was on my dad.
Like all firsts, things didn't go as planned.
I was a mess. A mess. So is the tattoo. I've been asking him to fix it for years, but he just sentimental value. He's like, no, it's your first one. You're so much better now. I'm proud that I have it.
After all of the challenges, Hendrix never lost sight of why he loved to make his mark.
With apprentice tattoos.
Someone like that closure, or helping them through an otherwise unpleasant event, and giving him something nice to kind of, reflect on that.
His devotion to tattoos is more than skin deep.
Some of them I got to express myself at that point in time. When looking back on those and reflecting, you can also in turn see how far you've come as a person and grown.
With photographer Lauren Desmond, this is Lauren Lunson reporting.
Behind some tattoos, you may find a unique story.
Kayla Yule tells us about a tattoo that has had a permanent effect on one customer.
Accepting others for who they are is one of the golden rules we all try to live by. Jack Dalziel is no different.
My perfect world would be totally accepting of whatever anybody is into. If you see the buffest, strongest, most masculine looking person walking down the street, but they identify as a woman, that's what the world to me should look like.
Jack, who was raised as a female, prefers to use the pronoun he or they.
I was just taught that I was a girl all through growing up, so that's what I was. And then learning about there being options.
And Jack's options and beliefs are reflected in his art and his dance.
I identify strongly as an artist, and so that to me means whatever I feel drawn to doing. I'm a big sucker for things that have to do with gender, things that have to do with binaries, things that have to do with anti-racism.
One of Jack's most obvious forms of art is his tattoos. One particular tattoo represents him breaking apart from his conventional home to explore the world around him.
It was I was a trapped bird in a cage for a really long time, and then once someone opened the door, I just couldn't stop flying.
With society changing every day, Jack's vision of accepting those for who they are seems to get one step closer.
It's really up to us as a generation to everyone be okay with who they are and everyone accepting that.
With photographer Mallory Ratty, this is Kayla Yule reporting for Camp ASB.
Tattoos aren't the only thing that leave a lasting effect.
Our next story tells us about a business that offers memorable, endless possibilities.
Hidden in Pennsylvania Avenue in downtown Kansas City is a unique cafe and tea shop called Tea Drops.
Interesting teas, exotic teas, different teas than people are used to.
Tea Drops has over 40 different loose leaf tea flavors, which allows him to create almost any flavor for any customer.
Sometimes we add kind of a seasonal one or a temporary one, but then there's also the blends and then flavors that can go on top of teas. We have about 20, and so lots of combinations there. We can do anything that you ask for, at least if you're willing to let it go wrong at least once, so we can experiment.
But messing up now and then doesn't keep his customers from coming back.
With people beyond just, this is my order, make it for me, because I see them every day. So it's kind of hard to just have that surface relationship with people, which is cool because I get to develop something a little more. So I really enjoy getting to see the same people and kind of develop a rapport with them and a relationship, and so that makes it really fun.
The connections he makes with his customers, Story provides a terrific experience to anyone who walks in the tiny cafe. With photographers Matt Ross and Jack Gearhart, this is Ellie Shear reporting for Camp ASB.
Even in our hectic lives, many people continue to find time for family.
Drayden Wood tells us about a bakery that embraces that value.
When Kim Lay first stepped into Mima's, she did not anticipate how quickly she would become family.
I'm not a family member, but when I first started working here, the whole family came to meet me. I mean, even people who don't work at the bakery, you do get really close with everyone when you work here.
In her effort to take care of her children, Kimberly quit her job and focused on creating recipes her entire family could eat.
My kids got diagnosed 6 years ago. They got diagnosed with over 100 food allergies between them. I couldn't just go to the grocery store like everybody else, and even the allergen-free products on the shelf, my kids were allergic to those too.
Lorraine, owner of Mima's, took an interest in the recipes and decided to incorporate the idea into Mima's products.
We launched an allergen-free menu, a full allergen-free menu. So it's free of all top 8 allergens, plus no corn or potatoes. And we try with that menu, we try to make everything be as organic, non-GMO, fair trade as possible.
The new menu offerings helped Mima's become a better place for people with food allergies.
Mima's family has seriously saved my my sanity, my family life. I think that follows with the family atmosphere that Mima's wants to create, that we're just very friendly to everyone.
With photographer Grant Barnhart, I'm Drayden Wood reporting.
Our last story of the day tells us about an authentic Irish restaurant with a twist.
Walking into an Irish bar and hearing country music would strike some as odd, but at the Power and Light District, this is a normal summer night.
If there's a country concert at the Sprint Center, we take kind of a country influence on.
The Dubliner creates an environment that welcomes all types of people.
But if Garth Brooks was to play down here, or Clint Black, or a famous country artist, people don't really look at us to be as Irish as our brand might be. They're really looking for a place to eat and good food and hot food, and so we really take on the personality of what's happening down here.
Between the Southern entertainment, open pool tables, and great food, there's nothing like the Dubliner experience.
We really want our guests to be able to leave this building with a lot of different reasons to come back, and that's what we're very proud of.
The country music will bring them in, and the Irish atmosphere will make them stay. With photographer Ryan Reese, this is Allison Wilson reporting for Camp ASB.
That's all we have for this Camp ASB show. I'm Lauren Lenzen.
And I'm Matt Ross. We'll end the show with a montage put together by John Cleaver and Jacob Lutenegger.
I want to be able to go out and get a story and come back and write it myself.